Good evening, everyone. Time now is 7 p.m. We're going to call the meeting to order of the Wayne Township Board of Trustees meeting, February 20th, 2024. Thank you for everybody coming tonight. We have a big packed crowd and stuff. If you haven't done so already, we have a sign-in sheet back there. If you can sign that in when you guys are getting ready to leave and stuff like that. I know we have a big crowd here. May I get a roll call, please?
Ms. Coleman.
Here.
Mr. Jacobs.
Here.
Mr. Patrick.
Here.
All present, counted.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're looking at approval of minutes of the previous meeting, February 6th.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes of February 6th.
I will second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion's minutes approved.
So do we have any additions, removals, or disclosures from the posted agenda?
I have two resolutions to add to your agenda tonight. Resolution 24-22 and 24-23.
Sounds good. Now we welcome the Warren County Sheriff, Mr. Larry Sims.
When I pulled in here and walked through this gauntlet, I remember my parents asking me one day when I was a teenager what I wanted to do, and I kept saying I wanted to be a cop, And they tried to talk me out of it. And not for the reasons that you would think, for safety and all that. My dad gave up the trying to talk me out of it. So, hell, you can always be a firefighter if you don't make it. You started it. Can you? How's everybody doing?
Great.
Well, thanks for allowing me to be here. It's always been a pleasure.
Is that what you wanted?
Should be a tracker though, right? Well, this is 16 years I've been coming out here. I think I missed last year, unfortunately. But I've always looked forward to the beginning of the year coming around and meeting whoever happens to be here or sharing with information or just talking and getting to know who's who. And it's been something I have thoroughly enjoyed, and it's certainly been a benefit to us as a county. There's no doubt in my mind. And, I've been blessed in the role that I have served. Certainly the successes I truly believe of our office are a direct result of the men and women that I work with every day. It isn't me, people like me come and go, right? And I've just had the pleasure of serving alongside of them, and I no doubt in my mind, because I'm moving out of this county at the end of the year to Delaware County chasing grandchildren, but this is by far the best county in the state of Ohio. To be a public servant, to be a law enforcement officer, we all have our little things here and there, but it is by far the safest and most supportive. When you see people and things that's going on across their country, and the law enforcement controversies and so on and so forth. We all know we have to be accountable, and we accept that, but, everybody supports you here, and that's something that it's hard for some law enforcement officers outside of here realizing that there are places that really do appreciate what you do. So, that being said, I did pass out our yearly report, and if you didn't get one, I do have extras back there. If you can't sleep at night, you need something to look at to get you drowsy, grab one, two. It hits the highlights, and I'll mention just a couple things as I described as kind of the bigger deals that went on throughout the year. This past year and a half, we've been upgrading our cruisers, cameras, in-car camera systems because of technology, obviously, we all see that. But it allows us to be able to take that video and automatically download that into an electronic database. It's really kind of a necessary part of our responsibilities, and it also allows us to be able to send that to the prosecutor's office. Even public records requests, we're able to a little bit more easily redact what is information that needs to be protected. And that took quite an effort to do. Good chunk of change, actually. Nothing's cheap anymore, but it's been a big, very positive addition to our resources in our office. Many of you may know, or maybe you've experienced the drones. We've been accumulating a small fleet, if you will, of drones that we use for many different reasons, and we've had them out on searches, rescue attempts. We've had them to find bad people. We've had them to find endangered, either children or elderly people that have gotten away. We're able to collect good video evidence and documentation, and I know that we've been out with the fire service throughout the county at different times as well. The other thing I want to mention is over the last year and a half, you may or may not know some of this, that King School District is the largest district in our county, that our office is primarily responsible for the response service to, including Deerfield Township. And that last year and a half, they requested and we were able to fill additional school resource officers. And we always had one that kind of floated between the high school and the junior high campus that sat beside each other. But they've added 4 over this last year and a half to that. One is the private school, St. Margaret, York, just started this beginning of this school year. But the other 3 are on J.F. Burns, Columbia Elementary, South Lebanon, and then the elementary down on Kings Mills. They're talking about adding yet another one, but all those buildings are covered with a school resource officer, except for a couple of them, they float back and forth. But, you just try to do, we all try to do the best you can to minimize those risks. It's sad that we have to do that. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in, I guess. But we have a great relationship with the township there, and that partnership, the expenses for that were paid jointly by Deerfield Township and the school system. So no one entity, took the full brunt of that financially. So the jail, I haven't been here for a little while to talk about the jail. If you haven't been down there to see it, some of you probably have had more intimate visits in there, but we won't talk about that. 2 years, it's been 2 years this past October, and we're still not full, which is fantastic. We haven't really even increased in numbers, which we hope that it lasts the county for a long, long time. And you probably recall me talking about how it was paid for with sales tax revenue. The county commissioners increased their taxes, heaven forbid, but they did with sales tax, and they raised it 1/4%. From 6 3/4 to 7% from January of 2018 till December of 2022, and then it went back to, imagine that the government quit taxing, they went back to the 6 3/4%. So out of that 5 years, our building in the jail is totally debt-free, which is unheard of. And the sales tax, the best benefit of that, we all know as property owners, we don't want any more taxes on our properties. But it allowed people that just come here and shop and spend their money to help pay for that. So we didn't, as Warren County residents, didn't have to pay for that for ourselves. So that's a good thing. The other thing that building has allowed us to do, if you've been in that building, there is a huge training room in the front of that. That has probably been by far one of the best things that we did. That's been used constantly, not only by our local people, but state, feds have come in and using his classrooms to train local law enforcement as well. And we hosted 2 state corrections academies in 2023. As a corrections officer, you're required to attend a 4-week state academy, and we were able to host that there. So for anybody that might be listening, these corrections jobs, and you can still be a part-time firefighter. Very, very, very good paying jobs. Probably like a lot of people, finding people to work has become different than what it was when we started 15, 20, 30 years ago. And you know, we've suffered a little bit of that. Corrections officers wise, not so much on the deputy sheriff side. We don't have turnovers on the deputy sheriff side, but we have gone through a series of retirements. So we're replacing those, backfilling those. So there are correction jobs. You could walk right in that door and get a $60,000 a year paycheck if you're interested in it. The last thing that I will mention is in the end of the year report, you probably know our SWAT team or special response team that we have in the county is made up of multiple agencies. You know, we're not large enough to have our own tactical response team, but there are members throughout the county that are on this team and very specially trained for those high-risk situations that unfortunately do happen. And they were recognized last year by the Ohio Tactical Officers Association because of a situation that they faced in Mason, the Baymont Inn, and Hamilton County Jail had an escapee, and this escapee ended up being tracked to this hotel in our county. And after some attempts to try to get him to come out, he had also met a female there and then ultimately ended up taking her hostage. It was a several-hour process to be able to get to him and save her. But they had simultaneously did an explosive, imagine this at a hotel room, explosive breach in 3 different walls at this hotel to gain entry. Unfortunately, the individual who was armed, he was deceased after he wouldn't obey the commands. They had to take his life, but the female survived and was fine. But it was quite an ordeal and very, very skilled group of people that had to do something nobody really wants to do, but they were very successful at what they attempted to do. So, but they were recognized there and got some awards as a result of it, and very, very proud of the number of people in our county that participate in that team. So I think I've bored you enough, but I'm here for questions, comments, jokes.
I'll just owe you a couple, how's that?
You're here for another 10 months, right?
10 months.
Yeah.
Another 10 months. Yeah, we have kids and grandkids in Delaware County, so we were headed there. Be a bittersweet thing, but we're looking forward to being around them, that's for sure. So, but thank you all for everything that you do, and seriously, you know, the relationships we have are pretty incredible. We do really appreciate it. So,
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to our next section. Anything with citizens' comments? Seeing none, we will move on to the next. Road Department report, Mr. King.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Going down the list of my report, I will say, number one's pretty self-explanatory. We got our new plow truck just in time to put it on the road for a snow event. And after 24 years of plowing in several different types of trucks, I will say that this one so far has done the best and is the most comfortable. So I think we've knocked it out of the park on this one. So we've got some minor adjustments that we're in the process of making to improve its efficiency. Hopefully, we won't have to get it back out on the road this year, but we'll see. Over on Lower Springboro Road, the pier wall project was completed, and I took the road grader over there and wedged in some asphalt. In some places up to about 10 inches to bring the lane level. So we helped them out a little bit, and we'll see how that goes as we move on into asphalt season. Big surprise, or no surprise, the 73 bridge project is fixing to start on the 26th of this month. For whatever reason, Gus and I couldn't figure it out either. They're calling Corwin Road, Corwin-Nixon Road, which to the best of our longevity minds, it's never been named that, so hopefully that doesn't promote any confusion with the residents of the township. Still doing some tree trimming, we'll get back on that. Weather is looking favorable, and not heard anything yet on the OEPA grant. Hopefully by either this week or next week. From what the parameters of the grant was, it should be sometime this month. I'll be getting, we'll be needing to get a resolution here probably for the next trustee meeting, to send the 4,900 back to the county and get it off our books. Other than that, that's all I have. Unless you guys have anything you need to pass along to me.
I have nothing, thank you.
You're very welcome, thank you.
Hard part for us.
Nothing to report.
Nothing.
Which is a good thing.
Thank you, Thank you.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Zoning department report.
Good evening. I've got the magazine underway, waiting on a few advertisers and articles still. We should be on schedule. The magazine designer has been away with a family issue, so it looks like we're still going to hold the same schedule as usual, with the 1st of April as a mailing date. And the BZA met last week on that application for a secondary dwelling on State Route 73. That resulted in a 2-2 split vote, which is a no decision, which is a no in an indirect way. But that's all the.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you.
Administrator's report.
Good evening, board. Just a quick update. Pretty much all these have been covered. In administration building, we did have those 2 ABC units replaced last week, and they're up and running and doing well. Lieutenant Dow's been working on some of the security upgrades and replacements to make the systems operable, and so that project's about 75% complete. Then Tarma, the new dump truck, has been listed on our schedule of equipment, and Lieutenant Patterson has submitted his resignation as a full-time employee effective the end of March, or March 15th, end of day, and but he will remain employed with Wayne Township on a part-time basis on his days off or as he has time, and will help the new chief along. So he's set to start at Clear Creek on March 17th. Highway Insurance Services, May 1st is our health renewal upcoming, so your form fires have been sent out, emailed out to everybody, so I appreciate everybody getting those back in, turned in on time. So we can get our May renewal out for proposals. And then some miscellaneous stuff, the Moore grant, the $1,000 for it has been received now, so all those are in. And the only other thing I have is Major Aerosmith will be on our April 2nd agenda. That's all for me.
Thank you, guys. questions? Do you have any questions?
Okay.
Thank you. Old business, we just got the website on hold for right now. Anything else on old business? Anybody have anything? Okay. New business, we get questions concerning the bills. You guys have any questions, concerns? I have none. Going into legislation now. We'll start off with resolution 2024-21. This is accepting the resignation of Tanner Patterson from the full-time position in Wayne Township Fire Department.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2024-21.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, roll call vote on that. Ms. Colvin,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobs,
Yes.
Mr. Patrick.
Yes.
Just want to say thanks, Tanner, for being the first.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate all your work.
Next, we have resolution 2024-20, we're gonna go to 22. I think 22 would be next.
Those are the ones we had here.
Oh, okay.
I was just-
So the heading of 2024-22 is approve the acceptance and hiring of Bryan Arnold to the Wayne Township Fire Department as a firefighter in training.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2024-22.
I will second.
And the reason for adding this to the agenda is he is scheduled to start a firefighter class at Wayne County Career Center on Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
Got a motion and a second,
Yeah.
roll call vote. Mr. Jacobs,
Yes.
Mr. Patrick,
Yes.
Ms. Colvin.
Yes.
This resolution therefore adopted this 20th day of February.
Next, we'll go to resolution 2024-23. It's approved entering into a continuing educational contract with Bryan Arnold for a firefighting class through the Warren County Career Center.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2024-23.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Again, this is an add-on, and this is to exchange for the firefighter training class. There'll be a 2-year contract then for payback for service. Roll call vote, Mr. Patrick,
Yes.
Ms. Colvin,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yes.
This resolution therefore passed this 20th day of February 2024.
So we want to do the resolution, you want to do the resolution, this one?
Yeah.
2024-20? Okay. All right, we have resolution 2024-20, a resolution approving the hiring of Jason Ward and Beckett as Wayne Township Fire Chief and enter into a contract with the Fire Chief.
I'll make a motion.
I will second.
Well, if y'all didn't, it was gonna be really.
Still eating that cake.
That's okay. Very awkward.
We have a motion and a second on resolution 2024-20.
Diane made a motion, I second.
Ms. Colvin,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobs,
Yes.
Mr. Patrick.
Yes.
This resolution is therefore adopted this 20th day of February 2024.
Now, you want to do, we'll just do this real quick. Do we have any correspondence, Gus? We'll finish up the meeting part.
Just real quickly, the only thing I think we have is, again, listed in my report, we had the check from Latarma. We have the Warren County Health Department monthly newsletter. And we also have an invitation to an open house at MVP down here in Coral.
Okay.
And we have an invoice for contribution to the Warren County Drug Task Force from the Sheriff's Office.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll take that up at next meeting.
And I know Diane has one elected official comment on it. I'll let you go.
I have two birthday cards up here, they're both 50 years old. There's this man he was a World War II veteran, he was a P-40 pilot, and I went to school with his son, and one of the sons lives in Wayne Township, but the 100-year-old, he's turning 100, he's up in Centerville is where he lives, but if anybody wants to come and sign one of these cards, it'd be awesome. I'm gonna mail it out, and I thought it'd be nice from Wayne Township to send him a happy birthday. So, that's it.
Sounds good. Now will be the oath.
How's that neat?
Yep. I think we could get him towards the camera too. We could be on this side.
I'm in the camera, sorry.
Is my hair okay? Looks fine. Somebody dim the lights.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
So raise your right hand. I, Jason Warren Beckett,
I, Jason Warren Beckett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States and the state of Ohio,
of the United States and the state of Ohio,
and the operating policies and procedures of Wayne Township,
and the operating policies and procedures of Wayne Township,
Warren County of Ohio,
Warren County of Ohio,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of Fire Chief
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of Fire Chief
of the Township and the County of Ohio,
of the Township and County of Ohio,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
and upon which I am about to enter.
and upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All bleeding stops eventually.
That is true. Oh, nice.
Okay, and
You're
wait
good?
for 1 second.
Now, you want to say words of encouragement?
Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited. We're gonna start doing some great things, not that we haven't been, but I'm looking forward to getting started, making some forward progress. I wanna thank everybody that came, mentors, friends, everyone that's helped me through this journey. I don't know how I did it, but we did, so, thank you, everybody. And, thank you to my wife and my mom, my sister, family. Thank you to Interim Chief Lalich and Tanner for helping me clear along, also Captain Carter wherever he went, and everybody, all the members, thank you very much. We're gonna get after it, so I'm very excited. I hope you're excited as much as I am, so it's really all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. There's some cakes and refreshments out there for everybody too.
Yeah.
You want to, we can close our meeting now. Yeah.
Probably ought to do that.
Make a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion to close our meeting.
I will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you. Perfect.
Powerful. So low.